welcome to another back of the net recording. I've come away from the whiteboard today because this is a question for which you really do the calculator, and a key to it is using the calculator properly. So, first of all, it says the equation x cubed plus 5x equals 67 has a solution between 3 and 4. Use trial improvement method to find the solution. Give your answer correct to one decimal place. You must show all your working. Just going to rewrite this up here a little bigger. X cubed plus 5x plus 4 equals 67. That's the equation I'm going to solve. I know there's a solution between 3 and 4. The first thing I need to do is just try one of those and see what it gives me. I'm going to go for 3. Now the key to this is typing it correctly into my calculator. I want to do 3 cubed, so I'm going to press the cube button there. 3 cubed. Then I need to add on 5x, and that means 5 times x. 5 times, I forgot to do the add 5 times. Now my guess for x the first time was 3, so I'm guessing x is 3. So I've got 3 cubed there. 5 times 3. Just going to check it looks right. My equation is x cubed plus 5x, and I said I'm going to try first of all with x equal to 3. So x there, so x is 3, 3 cubed plus 5 times 3. See what it gets. 42. The answer for 3 is 42. Now that is clearly too small. So I'm actually going to try and see if x was equal to 4. What would I get? Now lots of students, when I go back in, turn the calculator off or clear it and retype all in again. But I can make life much easier by pressing the replay button. Just changing that 3, delete that 3 and put a 4. Scroll back along, delete that 3 and put a 4 there instead. Answer to that, 84. That's too big. So I'm going to try x equal to 3.5. And again, just scroll with this. Press equals 16.375. Well, I'm in for 67, so that's not so bad, but it's still a bit too small. Now it's really important every time you evaluate the number you get. Is it too big? Is it too small? If you never write this down, you'll get no marks at all for this question. So writing down too big, too small is really important. I'm going to guess now for 3.6. It's neither right nor wrong at this point, which number you guess. You've just got to make an intelligent guess and see what you get. That's 64. So I'm still too small. So right, too small. I'm now going to try 3.7. .153. Well, that's too big. Well, that's good news. So my answer is somewhere between 3.6 and 3.7. The questions ask me to work to one decimal place. That means I can only be typing in one decimal place on my calculator, so I can't get any more accurate than I already am. It's somewhere between 3.6 and 3.7. Let's have a little look and see which would be nearer to. I'm moving for 67. 69 there is about 2.1 away. 64 is about 2.4 away. So therefore this one is nearer. So I'm going to write nearer for this one, and down here on my answer I would write x equals, well, 3.7 was the nearer. These questions are normally out of 4 marks. So far I've got 3 marks. I need to make sure I get that 4th mark, and to do that we do our final check. and we take the halfway point of the two numbers it was between our too big and our too small. And the halfway point of 3.6 and 3.7 and 3.65. And we just evaluate what that's going to be by using the calculator again. 0.65, 3.65, and that gives me 66.87, which is too small. And there's a long, complicated explanation as to why we do that. But in terms of getting a mark for an exam, work out here to one decimal place, which is your nearer, write down, write your answer, then go back and evaluate that. And just writing that line there, as I've done, will get you one more mark. Okay. I'm going to change sheets of paper and give you a second question. There we go. I'm just going to write down that equation a bit bigger for you so you can see it. It actually says x cubed plus 10x equals 25. And again, we're working to one decimal place. If you want to press pause now to have a go yourself, do so. Okay, welcome back. I'm just going to clear my last question from the calculator and get on with this one. I know the solution is between 1 and 2, so I'm going to start with x equals 1. There's x equals 1. I'm going to type it in. 1 cubed plus 10 times 1. That equals 11. Too small. X equals 2. Don't forget to change the second part of the equation as well. There we go, is 28, which is too big. Well, I knew it was going to be too big because it told me it's between 1 and 2. But doing those two is giving me an indication of whether it's nearer to the 1 or nearer to the 2. And looking at that, it is nearer, quite a bit nearer to the 2. So I'm going to guess that x equals 2.7 for my next guess. Let's type that in. I should have done 2.7, should I? That's given me 46. I should have done 1.7. Sorry about that. Let's go back and change that to 1.7. Doesn't matter if you make a mistake, so long as you correct it afterwards. 1.7. That's more like it. And that's given me 21.913, which is still too small. Let's try 1.8. Let's go back and change all of those there. .83. Still too small. Let's try x equals 1.9. .85. That's too big. Don't forget you must always do your evaluation here. So I know my answer is between those two. 23.8. That's about 1.2 away, that's 0.8 away, so this one here is going to be nearer. So my answer is x equals 1.9. So far, of those 4 marks, I've got 3. I need to go back and evaluate the midpoint between these two, the halfway point. X equals 1.85. Just go back in there and type that in. And that gives me 24.831, which is too small. Guaranteed there for 4 marks there. That's giving my 4th mark, that final statement. Okay, let's give you another question to do. Last one. Okay, this time it's x cubed plus 2x equals 60. X cubed plus 2x equals 60. I'll write it again. Okay, I'll allow you have a go if you want to have a go. Press pause now. Okay, welcome back. Let's give it a go. Let's start with x equals 2. X equals 2, there you go. Clear my last question. I've got 2 cubed plus 2 times 2. That's right. Equals 12. Well, I've just rushed into that and I've realised I've made a very simple mistake. It told me it was between 3 and 4 and I guessed at 2. So let's try and be more sensible. Let's try x equals 3. Go back in there. Change those to 3s. And I get 33, which is too small. Let's now do x equals 4, which hopefully will give us something too big. So again, I've done that 4 one there. It tells me I'm a bit nearer to 4 than I am to 3. I must write down too big to get the mark. Let's try x equals 3.6. That gives me 53.8, which is too small. Let's go back now and try 3.7. Something, which was too small. Well, I'm fairly sure 3.8 is going to be the one we need. .472, which is too big. So I know it's between these two, which is the nearer one. Well, I'm aiming for 60. That's less than 2 away because it was 0 something. That's more than 2 away, so that one there is going to be nearer. So my answer to write down here is that x equals 3.7. That's 3 out of 4 marks. Now for the final check, the halfway point. X equals 3.75. And that gives me 60.234, which is also too big. Okay, 4 marks done. I hope that's been a useful trial to you, or useful help to you for trial and improvement. There's just one thing I do want to show you that's not come up on any of these questions, and that is just how you type in a couple of things they may test you on when it comes up. I'm sure you're quite confident with the method now. You may get a question that looks something like this. They may ask you to solve, and let's just say it's going to be 3 divided by x squared equals 5, for example. If you get that question, you just need to use your calculator in a slightly different way, and that is set it up as a fraction to start with. So use your fraction button, type your 3, and then put your first guess in there. My first guess, I'm going to guess for 0.5. So I type 0.5 squared on the bottom, press equals, and I've got 12, it's too big, and so on. But that's how you type that type of equation in. The other one that's come up once before was this equation. It was solve x squared plus sine x equals, let's say x squared plus sine x equals 7. I can't remember what it was equal to. The problem is you've got to type this into your calculator. So let me just help you with that. I'm not actually going to solve it for you. Clear it off. The x squared you should be good at. So I'm going to start with x equal to, let's do x equals 3. Let's not actually. Let's start that all again. Let's do x squared plus sine x equals 0.5. That'd be a more realistic question. Okay, so let's try with x equal to 0.2. In this case, I will type in 0.2, use the squared button, plus, now you've got your sine button there, S-I-N, sine, and in the brackets you type 0.2 and then close the bracket off. 0.04. So it's too small. I might then want to try 0.3, so I'll go back and now just type in 0.3. Still too small, and so on. I might try around that. But that's how I type in that sine thing. You may get a cos one, in which case you use cos, and you may get a tan. That particular use of the sine, cos and tan has only appeared once, and it was on the higher paper. Okay, just to recap, so you're confident, because I've left you with a thought there. This is a way to do it. Always write down your value of x. Draw an arrow to what it gives you. Don't forget to evaluate it. When you've got a too big and a too small between the two, box it round, and then say which one's nearer, then do the midpoint. As I've done there, just write down what it is to get that fourth mark. Hope that's been useful to you.